So in summary, Ambassador, the Academia would rather negotiate with our tribe instead of the Yab, yes? The Yab are ruthless murderers who don't listen to reason, and now they have the gall to interfere in our research projects in the desert region. So let me ask you, Chief, if you were the Academia, what would you do? Kill them all, of course. Precisely. The Academia does not tolerate those who stand in our way. The Yab have held back our academic pursuits for too long, and our patience is wearing thin. At the same time, there is simply no way that the Academia can be seen to be intervening in desert affairs. I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from. We have our own rules out here. If the rainforest dwellers raised arms against desert tribe, you'd start a bloody war. Right. We can't confront them ourselves, but we can support their enemies. The unit have always had strained relationships with Yab, which makes you our natural allies. Natural allies. Weren't the Yab your allies once? You were quick to send them after us to protect your interests back when we stole the water, and now look at you. You're at each other's throats. Let me be clear. The Academia wishes to collaborate with the legally recognized rulers of the desert in this matter. We are asking for excavation rights to that well, and our offer is 50 million mora. I believe we have an understanding. Good, and I suggest you get to work. Get us access to that well, and the mora is yours. You see that? Lying is easy when you know how. People will believe anything. Is she going to burn herself? So, okay, we go to the well. My throat is so dry. Look at yourselves. You may be vile, savage monsters, but your butchered bodies bleed like any others. You're no different. You're nothing special at all. The monsters who destroyed my home, they're just ordinary, petty human beings. What a joke. I think we're even now. Maybe I've even done the desert a favor. It's a better place without all these people around. Oh, Sinuhe, my gullible fool of a father. Perhaps, if you've been as ruthless as I was today, our tribe's people would still be alive. In this dog-eat-dog world, a chief needs to be tough to survive. But you couldn't do what had to be done, so I did it for you. Nefer, it's okay, all of this is in past now. I believe I remember you promising to remain silent. Yeah, but even so... Is there anything you can do to ease tension? You got this! Alright, time to a sharp turn onto a completely different topic. That's enough of that. When are we getting out of this place? Feels like we've been walking forever. I'm getting pretty tired. Lauma, you tired? Yes, if we can find somewhere to sit down, I could certainly do with a rest. It's not far now. There should be a temple just up ahead. Is this situation about to reach a conclusion? Yep. A temple? That's where the story ends? I guess that's how things go in desert. I've been to a similar place with a friend from the desert before. Desert dwellers can never escape their destinies, or so everyone says. I never wanted to believe it, but looking back now, I'm as desert as they come. You mentioned the temple. What's waiting for us there? My biggest trade secret of all. Ah, then I'm guessing it's where you got your power from, the power to peer into people's minds. I didn't know you were clued up on any other religions. I'm no expert in the history of Sumeru, but since you come from the desert, I would imagine it had something to do with King Deshret and the 7 pillars who served him. Sounds impressive. I have some friends with connections to this stuff. Specifically with Hermanubis. I know you mean General Mahamatra Saino. The spirit of Hermanubis dwells within him. That's Boss Nefer for ya. She knows everything. Sinal's hardly a figure of obscurity, but I know about Setos too. What about him? Is he a big deal or something? Oh, he's another small deal, let's put it that way. You sure know your stuff. Please, this is the bare bone basics. Save the flattery. Thanks for your patience, everyone. I'm sure it's been a lot to take in. With any luck, that's our exit just up ahead. Yes, please, I just want to return to not cry. I was thinking that maybe today I'm going to finish, but probably no. How long is this Archon quest? Jesus Christ. Like, it's interesting. The problem is that I don't find Nefer interesting. Don't kill me. I don't. I just don't think her character is... It's good that she's a informant and she's important for the story, but I just don't vibe with her, if that makes any sense. If I was in Genshin, I would avoid her. That's for a fact. It's also weird to not see any of the robots here, but I'm happy I don't have to fight. I just want to make this quick out of here and just go back to not cry. I'm totally out of my depth here. I don't have anything to add about any of this stuff. Like, look at that statue, for instance. I wanna do the whole name dropping. This girl knows her stuff thing too, but I've never seen anything like it before. A statue with the head of the bird. Looks like something out of King Deshret's mausoleum. That's Thoth, the Ibis King, one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret. The legend says that he, Crocodile King, and the Gold King were the 3 retainers of King Deshret. Let's take a look. Yes, finally. Who there? Ashru. Is Ashru your secret?
アシュルだったのか。これは無事ということか。
物語が終われば世界が崩れて元の場所に帰れるはずだ。そもそもここは私の記憶の世界だし、何も怖いことはないんだよ。
そうなのか。
ああ、もうすぐ終わりだ。
Did not expect that. Okay, barrier. Okay.
Nefer, しっかりして。
知りすぎた者は生きることを許されない。
あんたのことかい。
Ah, yeah, Dory. Dory, where did you get that thing from?
ちょうどいいタイミングだったでしょ。
Timed that pretty well, didn't I? You certainly did, thank you.
怪我がなくてよかった。
It's okay, I'm just glad no one was hurt.
さっきラインっぽい力が
Paimon
見えたけど
noticed you doing something too, Dainsleif. Were you helping get them out?
もちろんだ。
Of course, when I asked Nefer to conduct this investigation, I was not naive to the dangers involved. I had a duty to ensure your safety. Good to know your sense of justice still intact after all these years.
さてな。
I take that to mean that you saw the truth. That comes as a great relief. I certainly did, and thanks to your help, I also managed to trap Revere inside the chest. Not for long.
本当か？
How do you manage that?
何かしたのか？
実は
Well, to be honest, I sensed that something was wrong long before we made it to the temple.
月の下流
By using this fragment to probe into Revere's past, well, the monsters formerly known as Revere, it seems I alerted him.
後をつけられたん
I
だ
was tracking him, then he caught on and started tracking me too. Can't say I'm surprised.
思考の世界の
But
中
how
で
did he track you through your thoughts alone? That shouldn't be possible.
レリルは
Reri was a secret agent who reported directly to the Winster King. He's an expert at finding a trail and hunting down his pursuers.
なるほどな。
No wonder.
あいつはゲームボックスに
He
妨害工作
infiltrated the chess set, read my thoughts, and built a new virtual chess set inside of it. That's why we weren't able to leave at
そ
first.
のボックスは大したもの。
Speaking of your chess set, it's quite a remarkable item. Would I be right in thinking you have some connection to King Deshret?
私を買いかぶり
You
すぎだ
overestimate me. I only have a connection with the one of his underlings, the Ibis King.
あんたらも見ただろ
You all saw how this came to be. A long time ago, the Yab massacred my tribe, the Shimti, in our home village. A few years later, I enrolled at academia, where some new information came to light.
うぬ族とイヤブ
The
族
Unut and the Yab fought a bitter battle over the fights to a well, all for the sake of non-existent 50 million
結局イヤ
mora.
ブ族は
The Yap ultimately won that confrontation, but their victory came at the cost of almost every warrior in the tribe.
最後の祝賀
The
祭で
final
は
blow to the Yap came at the victory feast when a Unut assassin beheaded their chief right before my
首
eyes.
を切られたよ
The remaining Yap fled and have been scattered to the winds ever since.
復讐を果たした私は
Having gotten my revenge, I returned to my hometown, where, to my surprise, the nearby temple was still standing. There it was, seemingly immune to the relentless hostility of the desert, while my tribal home lay in ruins.
神殿の前で
As I stood there gazing at the temple, I noticed a cat just outside. This cat, as it turned out, was home to the spirit of the Ibis King.
私を神殿の奥の
Ooh!
扉
He
ま
led
で
me to a
導い
gate
た
deep inside the temple, and there he made a deal with me.
私はそいつと
Oh!
取引したんだこのボックスは
This chess
ま
set
さに
is my
時
gift
の王
from
が
the
授け
Ibis
てくれ
King.
たものだ
The chessboard within is made to the same specifications as the one in the mausoleum of King Deshret and represents his power of piercing analysis.
これらを通して
With this chessboard and its container, I gained a certain ability to perceive hidden secrets. Now, you could conclude that the Ibis King simply wanted to give the people of this world the power to seek the truth, but I don't believe that's the full story.
で神にも好き嫌い
Every
がある
god
の
plays favorites. Their hearts are as fickle as any humans,
残念な
full
が
of
らそれを
secrets,
認めようとする
perversions,
神はほとんどいない
perversions, egoistical tendencies, but precious few gods are willing to admit this.
強大な力も
It is the same with all powerful forces, including fate itself. Their gaze falls preferentially upon a selected few. As you rightly point out, this is an act of favoritism.
アビスのことを指して言っ
If
てる
you're
の
alluding
な
to the abyss, then yes, I agree.
さて
Gather the others, it's time to share everything
今
I've
回得
learned.
た情報を改めて伝える
Before long, the group is gathered. Okay.
みんな
Thank you all
集
for
まってくれ
being
てあ
here.
りがとう月の狩人の件を
As
調
promised,
査
I
す
did
る
some
と約
further
束した
investigating into the Acre of Solnari background. I'm pleased to report that the investigation has been most fruitful indeed.
月の狩人
The
で
Raker of Solnari, real name Revir, was once a Cambrian subject who served the Winster King. I will now share the important details of his story. Please save any questions or comments for the end. Nefer narrates Revir's backstory to the group. At the Winster King's behest, he gathered intelligence and assassinated descendants of the Crimson Moon dynasty. Unwilling to take down his beloved Tolindis, who was secretly of Crimson Moon heritage, he then got dragged into coward politics. court politics. Whether Phonia's voice, which spoke to him of his fate, was like a reflection of the moon, though he could disturb the waters to gain some temporary relief, he was powerless to erase it entirely. In contrast, Rarius' own life was like a reflection of a broken moon. Once the stormy winds of fate blew across the water's surface, it was utterly destroyed. Tolindis smuggled away a piece of the moon before disappearing through the mysterious portal. It was passed down through the ages, finally falling into the hands of the knave. But what lies on the other side of that portal? Is it really a whole other world? Tolindis never had the chance to share what she found there. Neither did Varir, who followed her in. So that's why he's so obsessed with the moon. I'm just going to check the battery on my phone because I have a feeling it's dying. It will survive a little bit more. It will survive a little bit more. A tragic tale to be sure, but it does not excuse his many transgressions. True. No matter how much Rerir suffered in the past, the fact remains that he is what we know today as the Wild Hunt, wreaking havoc upon innocent lives in Not Cry. He becomes more dangerous with each passing day. If left unchecked, it is simply a matter of time before all the Tevat suffers from consequences. This is a threat that the Knights of Avonius cannot ignore. A question for Miss Colombina. Forgive me if this is presumptuous, but have you ever seen the spatial gateway that appeared in Varir's memory? Never, but I have heard stories of something called the Moon Gate, and this seems to fit the description. Ms. Lauma, any thoughts on this? In the lore of the Frostmoon science, the moon is believed to hold many secrets. Some sources speak of ancient knowledge, others of a gateway to the unknown. The term Moon Gate is one I have heard before. But as is the case with all of our legends, there are no records of any first-hand witnesses. We cannot know whether it really exists. Then back to Miss Colombina. As Moon Goddess yourself, do you have some idea or where the Moon Gate leads to? To the moon, duh. Not at this stage, sorry. I do hold the power of the Frost Moon and my strength is recovering well. I can sense that the gate would open at my command, but there's more to the power of the Frost Moon than that. Yes, a Moon Goddess has the right to open the Moon Gate since it is a path to the moon. But as Nefer mentioned, holding open a spatial gateway takes a huge amount of power. And right now, I need to conserve my energy to fight the Wrecker of Solnari. I'm afraid this is one mystery we may have to leave unsolved for now. I agree, better save your strength. But if you'll humor me for a moment, I have a bold conjecture of my own regarding the world beyond Gateway. I highly suspect that neither Tholindis nor Varir made it through unscathed. The evidence pointing to this is the fact that the Raker of Solnari exists in the form of countless fragments. With the abyssal power he wields, no ordinary foe can touch him, let alone tear him to shreds. And yet the Wild Hunt proliferates wherever his scattered fragments lie, drawing hordes of monsters to many different locations across the land. So your theory is that Varir was physically torn to shreds by some powerful force, hence why the Wild Hunt is a distributed phenomenon rather than a unified one? Makes sense to me. Explains why the Wild Hunt is so pervasive and why he's been trying to piece himself back together. He was a whole to begin with, and he wants to be whole again. Without the power of the Abyss on his side, he almost certainly would have perished the moment he was torn apart. But the Abyss, much like a curse, has kept him alive. I could not agree more. The power of the Abyss is most surely a curse. It is a compelling explanation and one that accords with my present understanding of Abyss creatures. Whether the life form in question is primitive or advanced, if a curse has extended its lifespan unnaturally, it will continue to survive in spite of everything. This raises some interesting questions. I will run some experiments and see if there is any validity to my suspicions. That being said, regardless of whether my research bears fruit, I would like to thank Ms. Nefer for conducting such a thorough investigation. Already it has greatly enriched my understanding of the entity we face.
どういたしまして。
My pleasure, Mr. Albedo. I do hope that the information I have shared today proves useful as we look to formulate the next stage of our plan. Hey, what's it?
どうしたの？
What is it, Dainsleif? You look really upset. It's just when I think of the man I once knew as warrior, I struggle to understand why things had to turn out like this.
レリルとは
The two of you used to be friends, didn't you? I don't know if these words will bring any comfort, but my heart goes to you.
ラウマの言う通り
Mine too.
月にも
We can never know all the hows and whys of the ways things are. The moon and stars are full of untold secrets and lies, and the skies are hosts to many more mysteries than
そ
these
れ以上
alone.
に波乱に満ち
Yet
たもの
none
でしょ
of that can begin to compare with the complexity of human life.
誰かに慰められたのは
Those are the
久しぶり
first
だな。
comforting words I've heard in a long time. Thank you both.
みんな
Well, I think this is a good place to end today's meeting. I'm sure Nefer needs some time to recover. She's been through an awful
今
lot
日一
today.
番ずいぶん気にかけて
That's very thoughtful of you, Lauma. Of
当た
course.
り前だ
よし
Sounds good to me. Take some time to rest and digest before we reconvene to nail down a plan. Back at the hotel, you sit with Paimon for a while and discuss what lies ahead.
まあタイミングが
Hey,
悪
is
か
this a
った
bad time? I hope I didn't kill the conversation.
いい部屋だな
Oh, I'm not coming in though.
俺はここでいいぞ
気にすんな
Why not? It's just a hotel room.
俺も騎士の端
If
くれ
it's
だ
all the same,
レ
I'll
ディの部屋
just...
に入るのは悪い
If it's all the same, I'll just stay out here. I might not look the part, but I am technically a knight. Barging into people's private quarters isn't the kind of thing we do. Okay, good.
ネフェルは非分
Anyway, Nefer went back to Curatorium to get some rest, but before she left, she shared some things with me that I thought you should be
お前
aware
たち
of.
も共有しておくべきだと思ってな
What?
まず彼女は
Firstly,
時の王から
although she
授かった
managed to
力
trap
で
the Raker of
月の影
Solnari
を
inside
一
her
時的に
chest
ボッ
said
クスの
there's
中
no
に閉じ込
guarantee
め
that
た
the
な
powers of the Ibis King
古
is
代
any
罪
match
人
for
は
one of the
常
five
識をは
sinners.
るかに超えた
Their
力で
powers
持
are
ち主だ
beyond our comprehension.
月の狩人
It's
は
only a
恐れ
matter of
早
time
かれ
before he finds a way to break out. We have to come up with a plan and take care of him before that happens.
まあ
Honestly, Paimon figured that might be the case, so how long do we have?
それで
Like 5 minutes.
あ
Well, I asked her that same question. She talked for a long time, but for the most part seemed like she was trying to convince me how precious her chess set is, and what a long and storied history it has.
あてっきりそれを
Felt
理
like
由に
some kind
何
of
か
sales
要求さ
pitch.
れる
You
の
know
か
the
と思った
kind
が
where you end up handing over Mora against your will?
曰くそんなすごい
Anyway,
ボック
after
スで
all that, she finally answered the questions. 2 days at the most. 2 days? Can we even recruit enough help in that time?
まさにそこだ
That remains to be seen, which brings me to the second
状
issue.
況は緊
Densleif
迫
is
している
obviously conflicted about this whole thing, but given how little time we have, there's no way we
何
can
と
pull
して
this
も
off
あいつは
without his
お前
help.
は彼と親しい
You
だ
have
ろ
some history with him, right?
可能な
Do you
ら
think
説得
maybe
して
you
ほしい
could
んだ
talk to him for us? I'll see what I can do.
ありがたい
Great. I appreciate it.
あとな
Alright, on to item 3. So, Albedo, Durin, and I put our heads together and came up with a plan. Can't promise it's gonna work yet, but at least it's a
ま
start.
ずはお前
We
にだけで
figured
も伝え
we'd
ておこ
bounce
うと
the
思って
idea
な
of you first. We'll
みんな
explore
が
it
元気
further
を取
of
り戻したら一緒に
once
行ってみよう
everyone's recovered. Oh, please ask
お
away.
いらも気になってきたぞ
Paimon's dying to hear
計
this.
画はこうだ
Alright, so here's what we're thinking. In a hushed voice, Varka lays out the current plan. It's a shocking plan, but nothing can face the greatest traveler and trustiest travel guide in Tevat. It doesn't take you long to get behind it.
ただな
We felt a little uneasy about dropping you into this. I mean, firstly, you're not locals, and secondly, none of us are
お前
your
はここ
boss.
の人間でも
You're well within
俺
your
の部下
rights
で
to
もない
refuse if you so choose.
お前
Of
に
course,
は
we are
決め
not
る権利がある
hearing the plan.
一緒に月の狩人を
Roping us
倒し
in?
に行くんだ
Why would you even say that? We know the stakes here. It's all of us against the Raker of Solnari, or none of us stand a chance.
細かいことは気にす
I
るな
choose my words very
話を
intentionally,
円
I'll
滑に
have you
進め
know.
るための
I
話
like
術
to think there's an art to striking a down-to-earth tone, even when the stakes are through the roof.
バルカさんちょっと修
I
正
have
案
a
が
few
あるん
thoughts
ですよ
about this plan.
聞かせてもらおう
I'm all ears.
人員配置に
I think we
調
can
整
be
の
more
余地がある
flexible
と
with how the roles are allocated. In my view, the most sensible lineup would be like this. Oh,
一理ある
I see your point,
だ
yeah,
が
but
そうなると
if that's how we're gonna
お前
approach
には
this,
よ
you'd
り
better
しっ
make
かりと
sure
準
you're
備
ready.
してもらわないと先に言っておくが
To be clear, I don't
お前は
doubt
信
your
頼してないわけ
abilities,
じゃない
far from it. I just want to make sure, are you really willing to take all this on? Yeah, I'm main character.
深刻な問題だから
I want to do everything within my power. The Raker of Solnari is truly fearsome opponent, and if I do my part, it'll greatly reduce the risk of everyone else involved. Well, that tracks with what I've heard. Jean's mentioned in her letters that you're so diligent it's almost abnormal. As in, most people weigh up the risks and rewards in situations like this, but you seem to just march towards danger without moment of hesitation. Of course, everyone appreciates a fearless pioneer. But all that aside, I'm the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius and you're our honorary knight. I want to make sure your courage doesn't come at the expense of your safety.
ありがとうファルカさん
Thank you, Sir Varka. I should be the one thanking you. It means a lot to have you on board. I'll give some serious thoughts to your suggestion. Varka gives a very knightly bow and says he'll see you at the hotel again later. He has arranged for everyone to meet and finalize the plan in action. In an effort to lighten the mood, he booked out the hotel for this meeting, so you could all chat over a drink. As the moon rises in the sky, you and Paimon leave your room discussing whether Paimon has any other option than fruit juice. Everyone is already there waiting for you. They're chatting and smiling. Clearly the rest has done them good. As well as the existing crew, some unexpected help has arrived. As well as existing crew. No. Yes? Still, you remain conscious of the fact that the future of Notcry rests on what is decided tonight. Oh, Marionette. Okay. So many lives are at stake. You may never meet most of them, but whether they know it or not, all of them are counting on you. Game of blood and sand. Discuss the plan with everyone. Yep. Coming. So, what's the plan? Dory!
行動開始前に
This is a thorough plan, but I do have one last question before we take action. How can we be sure that our enemy won't leave the designated area? Great question. Albedo's been hard at work analyzing Rerir and the Wild Hunt's behavioral patterns. His conclusions are as follows. So we have Dory here. I did not expect her. I expected Marionette to help. Okay. Will I start liking Dory? I don't think so, but go off, show off what you can do. Firstly, from the earliest known confrontation until now, Rerir has never displayed any ability to manipulate the dimension of space, so it's unlikely he has any power in that domain. Secondly, he seems to have particularly strong vendetta against our group. If we put him in fight or flight situation, he'll choose to fight every time. Where is Colombina? Thirdly, finally and most importantly, he is consumed by hatred both for the moon and for his enemies. Turns out we tick both of those boxes. We have a reincarnated moon in our ranks and a spy who accesses his private memories without permission. He'll be baying for blood, not looking for escape. As someone who's had their fair share of interactions with the Wild Hunt, those all seem like valid observations to me. Understood. Then I will defer to the verdict of the group. Well, everyone, that's the plan in full detail. Albedo and Durin are carrying out their parts as we speak. Yeah, I was also going to say like where they are, but okay, probably everybody is preparing.
計画を認証し
Plan
ます
approved. Scheduling.
オッケー
Okay, any firepower you need, I got you covered. Let's light this baby up. Okay,
蒼月のこの方
the Frost Moon Science are behind you as well. And the rest of you? No objections? Alright, then it's settled. This is the plan we are going with. Next up, an old tradition of mine. Anyone who wants to back out? Now is your chance.
撤回もありだ
Wait, we can still back out of this? Everyone says things they regret, right? I don't want anyone feeling trapped because their mouth said yes before their brain had time to think things through. Okay, that's actually pretty good tradition. I like this.
セピュロス騎士団
A very people-first approach. I heard that's common practice in the Knights of Favonius. Who do you hear that from, Diluc? We don't use people's real names at work. This contact will be known only as Owl. Please and thank you.
私のビジネスパートナーのことはよっくろうと呼んでくれ
This plan can only work if everyone does their part. Flint and I will absolutely support it.
きっと
We shall indeed. You'll be glad you accepted our help.
それにしても
Also, you are the last person I expected to see here, Miss Dory. Yes? It's not often I get called Dory in a work context. My peers usually call me Lord Sangemar Bey. So, the longer your name, the higher your net worth? Is that the idea here? In that case, Mr. Flint's here must be worth a fortune. That's right, I know your full name. It's... The walls are thin here. I'd appreciate you keeping that a secret. Okay, fine. I'm actually only here as a favor for someone else. Do you have any idea how much it would cost to hire me otherwise? What, does this mean someone on there actually has the power to boss Dory around? Who? Who if not Nefer? I want to say Marionette. I mean, she's proud. She wouldn't come here. And she has enough money to pay Dory to come in her stead. So yeah. We have a long-standing and mutually beneficial business partnership. She's actually the mom of a... Alice! Said mom supplied me with a great little trinket, but now that lady's ruined everything, if I don't start building a little goodwill now, my whole business in Notcrack is gonna go down the drain. Alice! Alice was like, yo, Dory, go over there. Okay, so what exactly is so special about this pendant? It's a lucky charm that the Great Mage made for me. We have a business relationship and she was worried that something bad might happen to me. So she wanted me to have something that can store power to protect myself with. I finally got it fully charged up with Kuvaki and then Nefer went up and used it all up at once. Never lost so big in my life. You're right, it was all my fault. I didn't mean to drain all the Kuvaki in the pendant, but I'll make it up to you. You will? Well, in that case, how about you give me your chess set and we call it even? I knew you'd say that. Well, it's yours if you want it. In fact, take it now and I'll even throw a free Raker Solnari. Deal? You're putting me in a difficult position here. It's a very useful thing to have around, but I have a funny feeling it won't be around much longer. I guess we'll see in a couple of days. Looks like bankruptcy for me. Finally, yay! Hey, don't be so pessimistic. See this through and you never know, you might find a new business opportunity in the other side. With an action plan in place, everyone chats. Blah blah blah. You and Paimon decide to check in and see how each stage of the preparations is going. Okay, we are going to check others. I just want this to finally go into action, please. So we go over here. So this is Dory. It would be nice to see Alice now, but I'm not having any high expectations of that. Dory, how's our things going? Feeling ready? I was born ready. We only have 2 days. You think Lord Sangemar Bey would let an opportunity like this slip by? Don't forget, when something in high demand, the people with the goods on hand get to charge the highest price of all. Even higher the sellers taking advance orders. See, it's right here. What that? Did you make it? I had no idea you were so skilled with your hands. No, I have a supplier. We go way back, so he made me a very attractive offer. Ah, no wonder you were talking about Lucky Charms at the meeting. You've been getting Kaveh to make them for you. Poor man. That's not the full story. It actually started a while back as a project between me and the Dendro Archon. Mage Alice once warned me that this world won't stay safe forever. There may come a day when everyone faces a great crisis. I passed this into the Dendro Archon and she secretly brought together a research team made of Sumeru's top scholars to invent a technology that could keep people safe. I won't go into details because it's all very complicated, but if you wanna know more, you can ask the Dendro Archon about it sometime. Oh, we are getting complicated now. We are getting the whole world web in here. Point being, it was Dedro Archon who asked Kaveh to build this little contraption. As one of the top Kashevar talents, he was the obvious choice. Took him long enough, he stressed over it for ages. Must have gone through at least a dozen designs before producing a final product. But that's Kaveh for you. Merak delivered it to me a couple of days ago, along with a letter from Kaveh. Could I ask why I'm sending this technology to you? What's your proposed use cost? Has it been approved by the relevant authorities? So nosy. My fault for sending him the research permit to begin with. Surely Nahida must have told him you were involved in this project. He was probably just nervous, cause you're always so secretive about your business. Could be, could be. Anyway, I just replied, let's hope there never has to be a use cause case, because it would involve grave danger. Fair enough, but it sounds like he was just being cautious. He probably felt responsible as the one who made it. Or maybe he was asking as a favor for his housemate. He's done that before. Not sure why though. His housemate doesn't seem to really care that much about this kind of stuff. Either way, all's well that ends well. I'm just glad to finally have my hands on the product. I wouldn't want to be without it given the potential dangers that lie ahead. What does that look mean? Paimon's just super surprised. This must be the first time we've ever seen you actually get serious about something. This is not the Lord Sangema Bay we're used to. True. Well, a long time ago I made a promise to myself. I promised that I was gonna live every day of my life with a big beaming smile. Obviously Mora plays a big part in that, but there are always gonna be times in life when you have to give something back. That could mean paying back a debt, returning a favor, or showing some kindness. Shut up! Will I start liking her? Alice has been a huge help to me over the years. She was the first investor I ever had, and I want my investors to know that Lord Sangemabe is the best in the business. No way I start liking her. And more than that, no one knows what the future will bring. Whatever happens, I want to make sure the Dendro Archon and all of Sumeru is prepared to face whatever comes. You never intended to ask for it back, did you? I was just making sure Nefer and I are square. Don't be thinking it was some sort of benevolent act. I'm no saint, so don't treat me like something I'm not. Oh, you slept. My priority is doing the business that I wanna do, so long as my conscience lets me, but it usually does. That's the Lord Samekema Bay business model. Alright, if you say so. I do say so, and that's what the whole point. I'm a businesswoman. Don't go trying to figure out what kind of person I am. You'll exhaust yourself. Much easier for everyone involved if you just take my word for it. Oh, and could you two help me get this stuff where it needs to be? Thanks so much. You're my favorite assistants. Okay, we go to these two gentlemen. Oh, this is so cute. Okay. I wonder what's the plan. Lumi and Paimon, good to see you. Everything going smoothly over there? Sort of. As you're probably aware, Warka, Durin and I captured some abyssal creatures from the wild hunt. Per the plan, we dissected and analyzed some samples of these creatures. The process went very smoothly. The findings, however, came with some troubling implications. Hey, I'm going to drop a very wild theory right now. I don't know why this occurred to me, but what if they said Rerir got shredded and from the pieces of his body a wild hunt was born? What if there is also Thelendis' body in there? Like they are technically one right now through the wild hunt. You can actually dissect the wild hunt? That depends on your definition on wild hunt and dissection. Harmless, lifeless. Those words are accurate descriptions. The wild hunt is an interesting phenomenon. In and of itself, it doesn't seem to possess anything akin to a human personality, but taken as a collective, the medium through which the wild hunt is summoned doesn't appear to have a soul. Astro gripped a lot about the wise Hroktadir and seemed somewhat fascinated with the false Sertology, but she barely mentioned Rerir at all. I don't think that was because of his lower social standing though. Anyway, it's a pity. I should like to hear her thoughts on the nature of the life form he has become today. It's a strange mix. The furious energy of an abyssal being channeled through a fractured physical existence, a consequence of being torn apart by an unknown power. Perhaps the only explanation for his survival in this state is that he sacrificed a degree of individuality in exchange for a continued existence. Oh, sorry. Once I get talking about interesting research, I have a tendency to go on indefinitely. Back to our research findings. Essentially, they confirm my hypothesis. Rerir's corpse is completely contaminated by the abyss, and the effects are irreversible. You could think of this as Rerir in mutated form, but in my view, even that would be inaccurate. In reality, his whole being has been consumed by the abyss. In other words, he is now nothing more than manifestation of abyssal power. Unfortunately, at present, we have no means of completely eradicating abyssal power, hence we cannot fundamentally destroy the wrecker of Solnari either. I mean, maybe we can if I use my purifying powers. That's terrible news. So that's it, we can defeat him? Not even if we get the power of the 3 moons? Miss Columbina's situation is a difficult one. She can never achieve wholeness when the world doesn't accept her presence. It's as if her creator banished her to a place she can never be accepted. It means she spends most of her energy just on her own survival. Given the circumstances, it's only natural to despair. But we must see this plan through to the end. Time to kick off the backup plan. Almost forgot, this is for you. Dory asked us to bring it. Ah, how wonderful. Well, thank you for making the trip. Dory and I will be heading off shortly. I'm sorry, I won't be there to protect you in the person this time. Please be careful. We will. Stay safe. So, we go here, yeah. Okay, so this is so cute, these small drawings. I'm just curious, like, okay, so we are going now here. What's left so far is Flint and Columbina, I think. So we are rallying in here. Miss Lauma, is everyone here? Yes, the fate of my flock is in your hands, Grandmaster Varka. Please keep them safe. My lady, what are you saying? Within the next 24 hours, we will face the biggest crisis the world has ever seen. This is not a burden that we deserve to bear, but I believe that we reap what we sow in this life, so I intend to act. I must do what I think is right. For me, that means fighting for the future of Notcry. This gentleman is the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, Varka, Knight of Boreas. In my absence, please follow his lead. Hey everyone! Guess I should introduce myself. Well, to start with, I know my way around a battlefield. Biggest strengths are honesty and hardworkingness. Anyway, point is, I don't intend to let Lauma down. I'm gonna do everything in my power to keep every last one of you safe and sound. That was fast. Oh, these two are working together. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I did not expect Dane to be working with Columbina alone, but I guess that his hatred goes only for Archons. And Columbina is technically not an Archon, so it don't go to her. Something on your mind? Miss Columbina, was it? I believe that's how the others addressed you. That's right, names are funny things. Have you always been called Dainsleif? Yes, I take it your own name has a more complicated history. I have a different relationship with names than other people. To be honest, I'm not even sure that Columbina is my name. At least not the same way that Dainsleif is yours.
みんながそう呼ぶ
But it's
から
what everyone calls me, and I go along with it. A lot of my life has been that way. I got so used to things that I forget to question why they are so. I never used to think much about where names come from, or what they mean to people. Maybe something's wrong with me.
最初に会った時
You're different from other people. I sensed it the first time we've met. You're more perceptive than most. I'm sure your long life and rich range of experience explains that. Do you ever find yourself missing Kanria, Mr. Dainsleif?
のことを思い出したりする
難しい質問
Difficult to
だ
answer. I have dreamed of the past many, many times. Sometimes I'm fighting tooth and nail, other times I'm lying on the ground defeated.
地面に倒れあまりにも時が
I don't
経ちすぎ
recall any happy moments from
も
that
うあ
time.
の
It
時
has
代の
been
楽
too
しか
long.
った記憶はほとんど
憎悪の感
Is
情
that because
は
hatred survives longer
愛
than
や
love and
好きとい
affection?
う感情よりも
Oh, that's
長
deep.
く続くってこと
And true.
そんな理由で弁
That
解
would
する
not
つ
be
もり
for
はな
me
い
to say. I make no excuses for the
美しく
grudges I
幻想
bear.
的なもの
But
を
whatever the
切り
reason,
取
I
って見せる
remember
ことが
little
で
that
き
was
る
beautiful or sentimental.
レリルのことについ
Thank
て
you for your
は
help
とても
with the
感
radio
謝している
situation. Without your efforts, I never could have learned the hidden truth of his story.
どういたしまし
You're
て
welcome. I know he's your
君
friend.
の友達だったんだよね
友達
Friend, huh?
あいつは俺を
He
裏切った
betrayed
し
me, and I never
俺
really
もあいつの
understood what
苦
he
しみを
was going
本当
through
に
in
理
life.
解した
Some friendship, that is.
なら
Okay.
一緒に戦う
So do you plan to fight with him with us?
俺は
I...
狙ってるんだね
You see, you're torn. Now you know what really happened. You see the things he's done in a
前
new
みたい
light.
な見方をすることはできない
少し時間
I
が
need
欲しい
some time.
うん
Of course, I completely understand. Anyone else in your position would feel conflicted too.
そういえば
Actually, I went through something similar myself
よ
recently.
り高いところ
Something
から
happened that changed my
物事を捉え
perspective on a
られるようにな
situation.
ったの
A situation I
昔は当たり
took
前
for
だと思っ
granted
ていたこ
at the
とも
time, but now I feel
今
very
は
grateful
貴
for
重に
it.
ファデュイを抜けたと
You
聞い
mean
て
the
いたけど
harbingers who still
まだ
support
貴
you
様を
even
助
though
けてくれ
you've
る
left the
執行官がい
Fatui?
るようだ
うん
Yes.
今までは
I always thought they were only helping me
地
because
位ありきの
harbingers are
助け合
forced
い
to
だ
work
と思っ
together.
てた
But then I abandoned them.
まして
A warrant was
今
even
や
put out
私
for
は
my
何者
arrest.
でそれでも彼女
Yet
たち
even
は
now
手
they
を貸して
support
くれ
me,
る
which means I was wrong about them all along.
友達だと思ってく
Clearly
れ
they
て
view
い
you
る
as a friend.
ほんの少し
I
罪
feel a
悪
little
感
guilty があ
now.
るの I regret not seeing their help for what it was and not treasuring it.
今
I see the guilt that you're feeling now because I feel it too.
私と同
Hopefully,
じ気持ちでい
talking
る
about
は
it
ず
will do us both some good.
だからね
Have you noticed that
気づいてる？
Lumin and Paimon are over there?
え
I
さっき
think
から
they've
ず
been
っと
listening.
旅人とパイも
Shall we say
挨
hello?
拶してやる
Sure. Oh, that's so cute.
こんにちは
Hello.
捕まっちゃったぞ
They caught us. Sorry, we were just concerned about you.
心配をか
I
けて
apologize for making you worry.
レリル
No doubt
Yeah.
you wish to know where I
月の
stand on the
狩人
plan to
に
take
対
down
処すること
Rarier,
について
the Raker of
真剣に考
Solnari.
え
I'm
る
afraid I need a little time,
少し時間をくれ
but I will seriously consider joining you.
本当か
You will? Thank you so much. Everyone will be so grateful to hear that.
礼には及ばな
They
い
needn't be.
遅かれ
This was
早かれ
something that I was
直面すべき
going to have to face up to eventually.
それでもみんな
That
の気
doesn't
持
matter
ち
to
は
them.
変わら
They're
ない
grateful to you regardless.
まずはみんなからの
You can
感謝を
control
受
their
け取って
gratitude, so just accept it.
その上で
And then have a think about whether you're willing to
考
join
え
us.
ておいて
Okay.
そろそろ時間だな
It's nearly showtime. Let's go rendezvous with the others. You know the place. Are we getting final cutscene? Are we healed? Yep. Ah, you're earlier than expected. Hey Flynn's been waiting here long? Not too long. I came a little early, so I have some time to think. Are you nervous about the battle? Quite the opposite. I'm reminiscing on my past battles. When I was awakened by the Ratniki, I had not touched a weapon in many years. I felt like the battlefield was not where I belonged. But after waging war against the Wild Hunt for so long, I came to realize something. A life of absolute peace is simply not a possibility for me. My restless flame indicates that somewhere inside of me there's a deep yearning to root out the evil in this world.
それって
That doesn't sound like such a bad thing. I agree. Well, in the past, when I was a Fae whose primary concern was hibernation, it was hardly ideal. But it certainly serves me well here in the present, and I am delighted to be able to join forces with you in this endeavor.
来たか
Looks like I'm not the first to arrive.
よく休めたか
Did you sleep okay last
ずっ
night?
と気を張っている
I
状態
struggled to
では
settle down at first because of the nerves, but don't worry, I got enough sleep in the end. I'll be just fine. Thanks for
そう
everything.
かしこまらないでくれ
Please, I'm just doing my part.
ネフェルこっちだぞ
Okay, Nefer, we are here. The goods have been delivered. Aino asked me to relay a message. She said Nefer will be on high alert and keep a close watch over all secondary districts where defense is required, providing support as necessary. Sometimes I read so fast that I forget to breathe. Meanwhile, Aino herself will provide ranged support to us directly using her latest invention.
いい判断だ
Excellent. My thanks to all involved.
様子が変
It looks a bit unstable.
いよいよ暴れ出した
It won't hold him much longer. We should be prepared to engage at a moment's notice. No sense sitting around waiting. Let's make the first move while we still have the
同
option.
感だ
I agree.
パイモン
Paimon, find a safe hiding place. Be careful, Min.
気をつけるんだぞ
I love how they evacuate her, like, go hide, child.
分かった
Oh, that's so sweet. We get more and more interaction between these. It's so sweet.
戦闘が始まったら
Everyone take your positions as soon as the battle starts. Every ounce of strength we have in our bones, let us bring it to this fight.
準備はいいかい
Ready? Let's go. I've seen all your futile ploys before. You have become the authors of your own demise.
まだ勝負はついて
I
ないよ
wouldn't be so sure about that. You are merely a moment of sport before I tear down the moon. Okay. Is it going to be continued? No way they do this to us. Oh shoot! Oh shoot!
気をつけるんだよ
Well, only thing I can count on is that This is a story fight, and in story fights I usually heal. Oh my god, why is he so strong? Jesus Christ! Well, I'm healing at least.
掃除のいらねえよ輪廻とわの案内
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Hi. Where is he?
謎を解こ
Oh.
う4
Defeat him? Oh my god, this will take a while, this will take a while. I know, help. Why do I have Fontaine in me?
地の底へ
皆のために祈ろう
I know.
迷えるな
お静かに目を閉した夜です
今のさ
Oh my god.
真実はま
ほら地の底へ
Why is it so slow? What am I doing wrong? It began with moon and so shall it end.
月の恩寵がある
Folamna him. Not him! What Launa's him? What am I supposed to do?
お前には俺が見えてるな。
Oh,
お前の予言はいつ現実
where is he? Where am I? Over here, over here, somewhere over here. Yep. Where is he?
汚れた魂居場所などありません。
At least it could do take some chunk of him, not just so small.
輪廻のとわの案内
ほら足元に救われます。
Why is nothing working how it's supposed to? Don't die.
行け
I know.
お静かに目を伏して地の底へ。
Wait. Can I eat? Can I eat? I just need to do it my way. Na, 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 na. Okay. So let's eat and let's cheat. I don't care, I'm going to cheat. This is one of the hardest boss fights I've had in a story ever. Like usually it's so easy, and now it's not easy enough. Oh, where is the attack foot? Example. Yeah.
迷えるの
Go. He's not even down to a half of his health. Come on.
ほらお静かなことを地の底へ。
謎を解こ
皆のために祈ろう宗主の神
どけ。
目を
What the hell?
その程度か。どけ。
お静か
無駄なこと
目を
を
伏して夜です。
その程度か。
Oh, come on.
読む宗熱よ永遠な
Well, he's almost down to a half, so
暗闇は怖いです。
心を覗かせてもらう。
行け
oh, I'm so happy I did not pull Flings and Lauma.
その程度か。
Your little game of heroics is over. It's not. Who wants to go first? How about no? How about no?
目障りな奴らに消えてもらおう。
No.
大丈夫か。
ネフェル他のみんなは
こいつのことだ。どうやらあんたと私は。
He really doesn't like us. Knowing too much is a death sentence. I don't care. Just
ああ、そうかい。でもね、まだ決着はついてないよ。
careful what you wish for. I cannot even read. I'm so confused. I have a moonlight. Are you okay? No, I have no time for drama. The voices are gone, but at least I know they're still here. That's nice, I guess. I did not build my traveler, and I cannot change her now. Oh my god. Can I? Maybe. I can't. Gee, I can't. Why she has rank... Okay, so this is a... oh god. This is a setup I cannot do anything against. Please don't tell me I have to fight like for an hour or so to defeat him. Colombina, anyone, like, please help. Can I run toward the moon? Yeah, I can. Hurry, give me a break. Why is it taking so long? Oh, everything hurts. I just want this to end. Where are you? Okay, and when am I supposed to... Absorb Kovaki. 1, 2, 3. What am I supposed to do? I can't keep this up. I mean, this is such a pain. Oh my god, this is worse than Raiden fight. No. Come on, man, just die already. This sucks. This sucks so much. No. Okay, so Nefer's charge attack is doing a decent job. Okay, finally figured that out at least. So at least half of his health should be done. Okay, Kuvaki absorption. Absorb Kuvaki 3 times. So that's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. What do you mean there's no other way? The only way to defeat Rarir is to borrow his own power. That means Colombina will have to disappear while you two bear the brunt of his attacks. You have to hold on, find a way to keep him focused on killing the two of you. What the hell? What the hell?
いつまで耐えられるかな。俺の一撃で塵のように消える存在が。
The land is little help, but the dust will plague your memories. Come on, keep holding on. Any other tricks up your sleeve? Let's see them. As entertaining as they are, you've backed yourself into a corner. You don't fool me. I see your fear clear as day. I have to stoke his rage, make him unleash everything. You fear what you could never defeat. You fear the thought of never being able to save your beloved. Okay, Nefer. Okay. You cannot win the fight against the Fate Warrior. You know what to say to him. It's nice. Is that what you think? Okay. Well, now it's your turn to feel afraid. Do I fight him still, or do we have finally a cutscene?
何を怖がってる？
自分自身と向き合うのが怖いんだろ。
這いつくばって見届けろ。
Video. Right up there.
なんだ、この力覚えがある。
月の狩人の力は計り知れない。唯一の対抗策は錬成陣でその力を盗むことだ。さらに全ての力をコロンビーナさんに集中させよう。一瞬でも彼に匹敵する力を持てれば勝機はある。
僕も力になれると思う。
So they are giving his
ア
power
ビス
to
の成分を
Colombina?
外に最大限放出して圧力の差が一定になるとそこから大量の元素力を抽出できる。これから短い間だけど炎元素の力を通じてみんなの精神と同調し君にみんなの視覚と能力を届ける。見える？
十分。
まさか黄金レインドットの関係者がいるとはな。
何の話かね。
Let's go!
Let's 力を盗んで俺を倒すつもりか。
そっちも空爆を盗んだでしょ。
Yes, Queen! She's throwing him out of heaven.
あの扉を維持するのにはかなりの力が必要なはずだ。
やってるのは私じゃないよ。
さらばだ、レリル。
勝ったよ。
That was amazing. And they threw him out of Tevat? They threw him into the false sky? That's amazing. Oh, we can't kill him, so we just yeet him out. We take inspiration from Skirk's book.
ネフェル、目大丈夫？
見えないだけさ。大したことはない。
What? Are you blind forever or
まだ間に合う。私がやってみよう。
how do you handle it? Oh, she's going to heal her. Miss Nefer, it's not like you to lose your composure. That was the most reckless thing I've ever seen you do. Reckless how? The situation was critical. Our lives were at stake. We had to do something. Even so... Okay, I guess you're right. Under the circumstances, it was a wise decision. You traded your eyes for an incredible victory. In business terms, I suppose that's a huge return on investment. I'd be hard-pressed to argue otherwise. Still, I don't like this outcome, and I don't want you to lose your sight for good. People suffer when they make sacrifices that shouldn't have to make. Whether that means faith, strength, or in any case, your ability to even see. I had hoped you could win without sacrificing so much as a single hair on your head. Thank you, really. All done. Don't try and open your eyes just yet. We'll see how you're doing in a couple of days. Until then, please follow your recovery plan to the letter. I'll send you full details through Yehoda. For now, just get yourself home, relax, and rest. My dear friends, we have fought bravely and achieved a spectacular victory. A dark cloud has been lifted from the skies of Not Cry. All in this land will be grateful for what you have done. The moon will remember this day. Thank you all. Yehoda shows up and helps Nefer get home, and you of course have Paimon to escort you back. The sigh of Nefer navigating the road with her eyes closed is a new one for you. She proceeds cautiously, but as her silhouette disappears into the distance, you notice she seems almost smug. There's something I want to let you know. What is it? When Durin connected everyone's minds so I could access their powers, I also felt everything they felt. And since Nefer's eyes were injured, my eyes are hurting now too. Hold on, let me try. I only feel the pain, there's no actual damage. I just thought I should tell you. You're right, there's no damage, that's a relief. But I must say, I'm surprised to hear that Kutar share something like this with me. In the past, you never used to open up about yourself. Things are a little different now from how they were. I'm learning to share how I truly feel with my friends. Oh, she considers us friends. You have no idea how glad I'm to hear that. You can't help but break into a smile. The word friends as a warm and fuzzy feeling fills your chest. One by one, your fellow teammates report in to inform you that everything is under control. At Loma's insistence, you lie down. You fought on the front line against the rear, and now you need rest. Alice. Tease? Tease? Not tease? Are you going to tease? Nahrávám. You're awake. How are you feeling? Any aches and pains? Did you sleep well? I'm doing alright, Paimon. No need to worry about me. Well, that's good. Paimon's been sitting on the edge of the bed worrying about you for ages. You slept the whole day and night. Poor Paimon had to eat all by her lonesome. Glad to hear you didn't starve. How was the food? Well, it wasn't the same without you here to share it. Honestly, Paimon just can't relax when you're not your usual self. She couldn't enjoy the food and settle down to sleep. Well, I'm back to normal now. And Albedo swung by earlier. He said to tell you to head to the tavern when he woke up. Barca and the others are organizing a victory feast and they want to celebrate with you. He also dropped off some medical supplies, but you seem fit as fiddle, so guess you won't be needing those. If you're feeling up to it, let's head over now. Wouldn't want to keep them awaiting. So let's have our celebratory feast and let's go to finish. Finally. So. We're here. Perfect timing. We were literally just saying how there's no way we're holding this victory feast without you any longer, and we would have postponed it until tomorrow. How are you feeling today? Much better, thanks. Don't worry about me. Relieved to hear it. If that changes, just let me know. Happy to check you over at any time. Yep, we're here for you. Anything you need, just let us know. Oh wait, where's Nefer? How are her eyes doing? Nefer's right over there. I'm sure she'd love to catch up with you. Oh, hey, her eyes are open. Lumi and Paimon, are you recovering well? Much better thanks to a good rest. You're looking well too. Turns out that Moonchanter has some real talent after all. My eyes were mostly recovered after just a couple days rest. I can actually open them again now. Yeah, but you gotta be careful. Lauma says not to strain your eyes while they're still healing. Yes, thank you. I'm well aware. Yehoda, could I borrow you for a moment? I could do with an extra pair of hands. Coming. Did you hear that? I gotta help Lauma for a second. You guys chat among yourselves. I'll grab us some drinks on the way back. Paimon, you still like 'em sweet? You bet. Make it extra sweet, cause Paimon's earned it. Sure thing. What's on your mind? The Raker of Solnari. Kind of a snake, don't you think? More of a wolf in my mind. No, definitely a snake. A poisonous one who spewed his venomous hatred everywhere. Anyone who seeks revenge out of hatred for other people has become a snake. That's something my dad used to say. I guess he didn't like seeing people go down the path of vengeance. Perhaps. I'm sure it sounds like a very wise and open-hearted perspective to your ears. But me? I think hatred is perfectly justifiable emotion. What else is left when everything you depended on in life gets stripped away? Something's gotta fuel the drive to keep on living. When I look at your life, I see a lot of things that you can depend on. If you're worried about me, you can nip that in the bud. I'm not someone who gets stuck in the past. It's just, I suddenly feel like I was wrong to call my father a liar. He was just a fool. That's why the Academia turned their back on him and why the other tribes ganged up on him. Ah, Father, how much better things could have been if you were a skilled liar. Look at the Ibis King. Todd is a fiendishly cunning liar, and yet, strangely, he feels more like a father to me than my real dad ever was. He's never brought it up, but I'd bet he feels the same way. Why else would he give me the power to perceive the truth while at the same time training me in the art of deception? Sadly, I've never heard the Ibis King's voice. What's he actually like? Well, King Deshret banished him to Aru, which is essentially a prison, and posed 3 questions to him. He promised that he'd have his freedom if he could find the answers. His response was to take on physical form and approach me, hoping that I could become his envoy and search for one of the answers on his behalf. Did he really think I'd fall for that? He's stuck here. He can't make me return what he gave to me. Sounds like he was nice enough to you. You definitely sound like father and daughter. So that's enough for you to decide he's nice, is it? He's a prisoner and he was scared, so he had decided to perform some good deeds to win people's approval. He lives in fear because he's a deceiver. How is Rariren different? You can work as a spy your whole life and expect a happy ending. It's a preposterous, yet I can say I don't understand. Liars live in the darkness of their own making, but it's human nature to want to go on living. They say that a liar's soul is the most worthless thing in the world. What do you think? I'd agree with that. I have to disagree. No soul is worthless. Oh, never mind. Good if you understand that it means you're smart and you see things objectively. If you ask me, the soul of a liar really is worth nothing, because all they care about is themselves. For example, when something good falls into my lap, I don't go sharing the news around. Stops other people trying to steal it from me. I have a feeling some people over there may have overheard that. So be it, they have sharp ears, I can't keep anything from them. Is that your way of saying you've warmed up to them by now? Oh, is that what it looks like? What it looks like is you're starting to see us as your friends. Well, you all know my past now, and I can simply eliminate everyone who knows too much. So I guess I just have to put up with you, for the foreseeable future at least. When you find yourself in a situation you can't control, the safest play is to keep calm and start monitoring everyone involved like a hawk. In the intelligence world, you need to have a sense of perspective and play your hand accordingly. If you understand what's at stake, please ensure my secret is safe with you. I trust you'll respect my wishes as a friend, but don't forget I will also be watching you like a hawk. Sure. Very good. Oh wait, now that the panic's over and we all calm down, Paimon suddenly remembered something. Yes? After all that build-up, our mystery ally never showed up even once. I mean, we all know it's Alice. And noise is coming from indoors. Am I imagining things? Do we have a tease? Just a small tease? Please? Small. So that close colleague who stayed behind with you, what's he been up to recently? Don't know, don't care, I get more normal human interaction from hanging out with Bosco too than him. Although now you mention it, he hasn't bothered me in a while. I wonder if he's disappeared without a trace is the biggest gift he ever gave to the world. But I somehow doubt that's what's going on. He wouldn't lie low forever, so we'd better stay on guard. Huh. Or is it Wanderer? Huh. Okay, listen what everyone is talking about. How lovely to see you. I must thank you for the device you provided. It was enormous help. Would I be right in thinking that it was developed by the Academia? Why come and ask me when you clearly know already? I mostly came to thank you. That's more like it. A little gratitude goes a long way with Lord Sangamabe. Play your cards right and you might even stand a chance to becoming my long-term supplier. The chance to work with such a kind and charitable investor as yourself would be a great honor for the Curatorium. Charitable? Who said anything about charity? First time hearing about it. Let's see, the first plot of land you purchased in Not Cry, your debt-served interests, and... What do you think you're doing, exposing my investment history? Okay, fine. Fine. Fine, I like you, okay? They are perfectly legitimate investments, and some of the land you purchased was with the intent of building a sanctuary. Yes, I heard about it too. You're a curious case, Lord Sangamabe. You don't like people finding out about your good deeds, do you? But I'm afraid no matter how hard you try to keep things under wraps, where there's still a will, there's a way. Oh, You did it for Sumeru, didn't you?
動作基地なんで
It was empty land that was gonna go to waste otherwise. I figured if I built something there, it might at least get some use in emergency.
災害なんていつも
Disasters are capricious things. They strike without any warning. I've lost family to a disaster before, and I don't want to lose any friends or business partners
もし
if I
災
can
害
help
で友
it.
人や協力先を失ったらたまったものじゃありませんでしょ避難所は
My
姉の
elder
夢で
sister
した
used to
の
dream of finding a sanctuary,
十分な食料
somewhere
や
with
水
plenty of food, water, and medicine where everyone could live happy lives.
土地を買ったのも
It was something I looked into, but after discussing things with the Nefer Archon, I decided on a more effective
もっ
strategy.
と効率のいい方法を採用しましたの技術を持った人には
The
技
tech
術を
people handled the tech, and Moneybags provided the Mora. It just made the most sense. It's a pity that so few people know the truth about you. Everyone says that you view everything in terms of Mora, and all you care about is growing your own wealth. Yeah. If you show just a bit of humanity, I actually start liking you, you know? I hated Dory. But when she drops like the over-the-top attitude, she's actually lovable, which I'm shocked by myself that I admitted this.
何か問題でも
So what's the problem with that? Everyone wants to be rich. It's a human nature, so yes, I love Mora, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. But surely you have dreams of your own beyond just making Mora. You don't get it, do you? My dream is to invest other people's dreams. And you know, make a nice little slice for myself along the way. Ah, just thinking about it makes me happy. That sweet, sweet sound of Mora. Thank you.
ありがとう。
増幅装置の
For
こ
the
とですよ
device
ペンダントのね。
and the pendant.
借りを返しただけ
I
で
was
すよ
just returning a favor.
あまり
Don't worry
気にな
about
さら
it.
ないでくださいまし
あんたも家を離れ
Seems like we've both been away from home for a very long time.
ええもう
Yeah,
家
so
族
long
の
that I
顔さえ
barely
思い
remember
出
what
せな
my
い時があ
family
りま
even
す
looked
わ
like.
両親とお姉さんかい
That would be your mother, father, and sister?
ええ
Yeah,
姉
though
はかな
it's
り
been
前に亡くな
year,
りま
it's
したけ
been
ど
years since my sister passed away.
もちろん忘れ
It's
た
not
くなん
like
て
I
あり
want
ま
to
せんわ
forget them, obviously, but memory can be even more ruthless than the most
商人より
calculating
もずる
business
賢
person.
いですものね
Beyond a certain point, if something
時間が経
isn't
てば
helping you,
役
it
に
just gets
立ち
rid
そう
of
も
it.
ないものから消されていくのです姉の悲しい
My
記
sister
憶は
can't help
得
me
にな
now.
らないと
Slowly
判
but
断さ
surely
れた
her
の
face is fading from my mind's eye. It's become a vague impression.
それでも
Not everything will fade. When loved ones pass away, its beautiful memories are the ones that last the longest.
そうですわね
Yeah, that's true. If you ask me, that's the one silver lining in all of it. Okay, Dory. Okay, fine. If you are not using... Like, this is your true self, and I adore it.
締めっぽい話は
Well, that
ここまでに
plus,
しよ
I'm
う
sure that life is much better now that it was back then.
そうですわね
Oh, absolutely. I have tons of Mora, a big beautiful house, business, and a booming, and I'm as happy as can be.
商売あなたも前途
You've got a lot going for you too, boss of the Curatorium of Secrets. I'm sure there's plenty of Mora be made in that line of work.
ありがとう
I appreciate the vote of confidence. Aww. Never in my life did I expect to see Dory's conversation and not to skip it. This was actually very beautiful. Okay, so let's talk over here. How you've been holding up? Any adverse reactions? If you start to take a turn for the worse, make sure you'll tell me right away.
大丈夫だよ大
You
団
don't
長
need to worry about being Grandmaster. I'm fine. I mean, I barely did anything, so
してないし
you're too humble, young man.
今回の戦いで
You played an indispensable role in the Battle of Not Cry. We can thank you enough for your support.
褒められた時は
Sometimes when people praise you, it's because you deserve it. The best thing is to accept it calmly and with grace. It's important to learn how to respond to words of admiration.
ならお手本と行こうか
Let's do a quick demonstration. Albedo, that was an incredible feat of alchemy. The pressure was on, but you worked flawlessly at lightning speed to get the job
ありがと
done.
う
Thank you. I can't take all the credit though. During played a big part in forming the alchemical array. See, did you catch it? A masterclass in how to take a compliment. Okay, yeah, I did work pretty hard to help prepare for the battle. No point denying that.
ここにいたのか
Hey, you guys. Seriously, great work, everyone. You all outdid yourselves.
よう旅人
Hey, look who bounced back. Looking good, Lumin. Seems like you've recovered. You won't need to take any more medication.
喉乾いて
Can
な
I
い
get you a drink?
何か
You know how to order at a bar now? You've surely learned a lot recently.
レン
Handling a drink's order is ridiculously simple compared to alchemy. Don't worry, I'll blend into society yet.
ルリンならきっと
Paimon
大
believes
丈
it.
夫だ
You're clearly a fast learner, just like your brother.
でも
To be totally honest though, Paimon didn't quite follow all the details when you first explained the plan to us.
仕方ないよ
Don't worry, that's completely understandable. Unless you're a student of alchemy, it's hard to grasp the principle and how the process works.
難しい
簡単に言えば
To put it in the simplest terms, we saw how our enemy stole the power of Kuvaki, and that gave us the idea of stealing his power to turn it
彼自
against
身に
him.
力を盗勝てっこない相手
When
に遭
facing
遇した
an
時
enemy you have no hope of defeating, it's best not to engage them in battle.
力勝負をす
So
るんじゃ
instead
な
of
く
looking for a way to overpower him, we decided to help Colombina get strong enough to at least stand up to him in a
手助けをし
fight.
た方が作戦の
For
重
this
要
to
な
work,
鍵
we
を
had to analyze his modes of attack, confirm who his main target was, and make sure that he wouldn't go beyond the range of the alchemical array.
念のため
For added security, we prepared a total of 4 arrays, but to mitigate the impact of the battle, we identified one location in particular as the ideal spot, which is where the confrontation took place.
錬成陣を通
The
して
alchemical array absorbed his abyssal power, then Durin processed it to render it usable by Colombina.
そのおかげで
That power enabled her to do what would otherwise
それ
have
まで
been
でき
nigh
なかったことが
impossible.
できるように
それにしても
What surprised me was that
ライン
Dainslave
セレブさんが
actually
本当に
agreed
手
to
を
join
貸して
us.
くれるとはな彼が手を貸さないと
Given
決
his
めても
story with Rarier, he had every right to sit this one out, but we were extremely grateful for the decision he made. Confronting a former friend in battle, that can't have been easy. It must have been a painful choice to make, but I'm sure that making a decision was far better for him than staying in a limbo.
苦痛に揺さぶられ
He
な
was
がら
torn
も
between two paths,
進む
but in
道を
the
選
end
び
he made his choice and
迷わ
stuck
ず
to it
進む
resolutely. He doesn't strike me as the sort of person who'd stay trapped in limbo for
と
long.
にかく今回
Anyway,
の勝
however
利
you
は
cut it,
みんなのお
everyone
かげ
gave
だ
a stellar performance, and now it's time to
勝利を
kick
祝おう
back and celebrate. Are we done? So?
その話をするために
That's the only reason you're here?
うん
Yes, I've thought a lot about it, and I've realized that you, me, and Arlecchino should be
君
friends.
とアルレッキーナは友達だからとても大事なことだと思ったか
I
ら
think this is very important, so I felt I had to come and tell you.
これはまた新しい
Well, this is a new one. I'm so moved, I can't even hold my teacup. If that's all you can. Oh, you can leave now.
私と友
Do
達
you
に
not
な
want to
る
be
の
friends
と
with me? Or is it that you
これ
prefer
まで
being
通り同僚
co-workers?
として過ごすのとちょっとコロンビーナ
What is this, Colombina? Are you deliberately tasting my patience threshold? Right now, my politeness model is active, but if you say another word, swear I'll shut it down.
礼儀正しく話
If
す
your
な
politeness model was active, wouldn't you say the word please at some point?
プロンニア
Please see Lady Colombina to the door.
見送りなさいまたお茶会に
Will
誘
you
って
still invite me
く
to
れる
your next tea party?
はあ
What?
きっと誘ってく
Yes,
れる
I
よ
think you
ね
will. Bye bye, dear
じゃあ
Sandrone.
またね大好きなサンドローネ
Aww. Catching up with a friend? Hope I'm not interrupting.
前回はワイルド
Last
ハン
time
ト
the
騒動
wild
で
hunt escorted you
さっ
out.
さと
Would
出
you
てって
rather
くれ
I
たから
handled
よ
it
かったけ
myself
ど
this time?
ことが一段
We
落
just
したか
wanted
ら
to, see how you were doing now that it's all over.
余計なお世
Why?
話
Out of concern for my safety? I hope you didn't seriously think that Draker of Solnari would be able to lay as much as finger upon me given how I prepared myself.
とにかく
Mostly cause you kinda helped us, so we just wanted to check you were okay. Looks like all your robots are fixed, huh?
今回はありがとうな
I spy books and teacups on the table. Afternoon tea, so we are interrupting after all.
もういいわ
Oh, don't you worry about that. Tea time is already a write-off. The visitor before you
お
managed to
茶
kill
を
my
飲む気分
appetite.
じゃなくなっちゃった飲みたいならどう
If
ぞ
you're in the mood for tea, go
もったい
ahead
ない
and
し
help
ね
yourself. Otherwise, it's going to waste.
コースターがない
My coasters are still missing action,
この
though.
ノー
Use
ト
this
をコースタ
notebook
ー代わり
instead.
に使ってい
Pretty hefty notebook. Look at all those calculations. You can ignore those, they're just dumb scribblings. I doodle and write in my free time. Sometimes I remember the distant dreamlike past, sometimes I imagine the far-flung future. And other times I grit my teeth and note down all the crazy nonsense going on in the present. Some people do the crosswords in the newspaper, this is my equivalent of that. Trying to predict the future is like daydreaming, and writing about the present just makes me furious. The past is my favorite. If nothing else, it's already set in stone, so I don't have to wreck my brain's strength to figure it all out. Although, having said that, the only vaguely interesting thing in my past is probably that guy they called Lord Artificer. You mean Alan Guillotine? Pretty much all the mecha in Fontaine are his personal handiwork. Wait, are you saying you know him? Like personally? As a I mean, I guess we were friendly enough. So you've actually made him, but he lived hundreds of years. Oh, so this confirms the theory that she was one... I don't know her name, but... I'm probably the only normal person left who knew him at all. We used to chat occasionally back when he was still around. Before he passed away, he asked me to destroy all his manuscripts. I honored his request, but I did read through everything first before destroying them. I mean, I couldn't let the genius of Lord Artificer Alan Guillotine disappear like that. Would have been such a waste. So that's where the formulas in your notebooks are from. I just told you those are my equivalent of crossword puzzles. They're just dumb formulas that I solve for fun when I'm bored. Alan's work was like epic poetry. The formulas in my notebook are just silly little riddles in comparison. Not that there's anything bad about them. I mean, at least, solving those riddles isn't going to hurt anyone. Except me, cause I lost a few brain cells in the process. Anyway, while we're on the topic, I might as well tell you about what happened to him and his friends. He had... Yeah, she is the one. Rene and Jacob, they spent their childhood years together in the Narcissus Cruise Institute. Yeah, okay, so the theory that this girl is correct? Hooray! They were all quite competitive, so there was some rivalry between them, but it was friendly rivalry. But beneath the friendship and the rivalry ran something deeper, a sense of nostalgia for the past. Unfortunately, childhood would end, the prophecy would come true, the apocalypse would arrive, and the future would never be. A mad dream that would normally only capture the minds of lunatics began to take root in their hearts. A dream of saving the world. And if Rene and Elaine had been people of lesser wits, the dream would probably have ended as something for them to joke about in their older years. But alas, they were some of the sharpest minds around. They nurtured the dream with the full power of their intellect, and it grew into something that ate away at their souls. The first of them to fall under its spell was Rene. Against Alan's wishes, he perished in experimenting on a mutual friend of theirs to try and save their lives. Alan did not approve and parted ways with Rene. It's complicated. Alan wanted to believe that Rene only did what he did for the sake of their friendship, but when he told me about what happened, I could tell that he still has some suspicions about Rene's motives. Perhaps the seed that would grow into a nightmare had already sprouted in Rene's mind even then. The next time they met, Rene's soul had been completely engulfed by the dream of salvation. His futile attempt to change the tide of fate only resulted in a wave that swallowed up the world, even before the apocalypse came. And although the wave died down eventually, I hear that it just recently came back with a vengeance. As I understand, Rene wanted to live out his dream of salvation once more. But I'm told that the attempted resurgence finally died out for good. At long last, Rene awoke from his deluded dream. Though, of course, by then, it was far too late. I mean, what do you think of Rene? Do you admire his transcendent genius? His view that any price was worth paying to achieve the lofty goal of saving the world? Or do you despise him, dismiss him as an evil madman who wrought havoc on the lives of everyone around him as he pursued his delusional dream? Same difference, really, just a matter of perspective. I don't know, really. Would a cop out, but I suspect you'd have more incisive and insightful answer if we dug into it further. What about you? What's your take on Renee? I don't like fanatics who give up their whole lives for their ideology, nor do I like fools who let their delusions take control. Maybe I could understand Renee had just been an ordinary person, but he had a sage-like intellect and still managed to get himself lost in the labyrinth of his own desires. Anyway, that's enough about Renee. Now moving on to Alain Guillotine, the Lord Artificer. He managed to put a stop to the first storm whipped out by Renee, but after that, Alain lost his friends and family. To his credit, I suppose the loss of his family and friends was purely a tragic accident. It's not like Alain sacrificed them for his cause or anything. After that, the only thing supporting his work was the same dream that dragged his close friend down to the abyss. And although the desire to save Fontaine drove him to found the Fontaine Research Institute, Alain continued to reject any form of transcendental knowledge or power. He was suspicious and fearful of it, having seen the way it had affected his close friends. I think that formulas and machines derived solely from humans' intellect were the only thing that gave him a sense of spiritual comfort. What the f*** is with all of this lore? Yet Alain's intellect was simply too great, it barely left him space to breathe in his lifetime. Once he realized that the end of his life was approaching, he finally accepted the truth. The Narcissus Cruise Institute needed someone and a human being to see its story through to the end. He quit working on his formulas, trading them in for the fairy tales that had played such a formative role in his childhood, but which he barely touched in his adult life. He told me that the director of the Narcissus Cruise Institute used to read those fairy tales to the children as bedtime stories. Apparently, they worked wonders at sending kids off to sleep. I think that all he wanted at the time in his life was to be able to sleep deeply without being plagued by depression. By that point, nothing else really mattered. At the very end, he laid down to the rest in the ruins of the former Narcissus Cruise Institute orphanage, while the Fontaine Research Institute he had founded continued tirelessly with its work. Many years after that, tension over competing dreams would once again cause a rift, this time between members of the Fontaine Research Institute. But the actions of those fools had nothing at all to do with Alain. And that is the story of two people from Narcissus Cruise Institute who both wanted to save the world. One went all in on his fantasy of salvation without ever looking back and ended up calmly sinking to the bottom of the deepest sea. The other sought desperately to burn bright in his life even though he wasn't sure where he was going. I do sometimes wonder why is it that people like them have such grand hopes of saving the world. Even the grandest tree starts as tiny seed. So perhaps for each of them their mission to save the world began with a very simple desire, to save themselves. They were young children with friends and family who mattered to them, desires to explore the meaning of life, ambition to have a successful career. They didn't want to see all of that taken away in one fell swoop. Or maybe they just wanted to find something to anchor themselves within the chaos, to stop them getting quietly swept away by the storms of life. But instead, the search for their own salvation took them down the rocky road laid out by fate. Lumine, do you think the desire to save oneself is enough of a justification to try and save the world? Do you think that the desire to save oneself is enough of a justification to try and save the world? I think yes. The way you said that sounds just like Alain. I asked him the same question back when he was in his prime, putting all of his energy into his work. He gave the exact same answer as you did. No elaboration, just quick short answer before getting right back to his work. He was always that way. Alright, tea time's over. I owe Arlecchino a favor for telling me these stories. I'll have to bring a whole sack of gifts the next time I visit the House of Heart. I'm gonna go tinker with Polonia now. You guys can do whatever you want as long as it doesn't involve interrupting me. Exit hibernation mode. Begin diagnostics. Are we done? And we are done. Hi, finally. I love Genshin so much, but I'm so happy that we are done. So the recording took me a lot. Oh my god, almost 4 hours. So I am going to sleep now, and tomorrow I will be editing. So I hope that you all enjoyed the closure of this Archon quest, and I will be seeing you, without further ado, next time. Bye bye.